No Hullbreaker in this list. There's a Hullbreaker in the sideboard, because I think that might actually be a reasonable card against Clerics. Although I think it's better for Izzet than it is for Blue-Black. But for the most part, I just haven't felt like the main deck needed it. You don't need, like, a big win condition when card advantage is just a win condition. And then, like, you just kill your opponent with 1/3s and Lier. Eventually that much damage stacks up if the opponent just doesn't have anything. So my opponent has lands and nothing, huh? I guess I'll get rid of Lolth. I do like the fact that that Lolth is going to the exile zone and doesn't get brought back with a Blood on the Snow. That's cool. Speaking of Blood on the Snow, we already have 2 swamps that are snow. So, like, we can get back our Geist channelers. That's fun. Oh, right, this deck plays like a million 1-drops. Also, wait, what is my hand? I need to spend a lot of this game casting Divide by Zero, I think. I'm very scared about the opponent's treasure chest. Like, I think I'm supposed to bounce the treasure chest rather than the Bloodcaster, because my opponent drawing 3 cards is sort of horrifying. I don't love taking 3 damage a turn in the meantime, but I think that's what I'm doing. I think I can Environmental Sciences here. Yeah. Don't want to miss this land drop. Don't like the fact that my opponent gets to resolve the treasure chest, but at least it's a lot more off curve for them. Huh. Okay. So I could just play Geist Channeler and then immediately Divide by Zero the treasure chest. That's probably a lot worse than playing this Key to the Archive. Which means if the opponent hits a land drop, I really don't like Counterspell with Lier, but everything else also sucks. I guess I could take Lightning Bolt. I guess I can just take Lightning Bolt and put it in the graveyard. I mean, although hitting Bloodcaster is kind of nice. Okay, no, can't get rid of Geist Channeler. It's too powerful with Lier. Okay, Divide by Zero it is. Merry Christmas, this day we celebrate Chris. Well, thank you. It's always nice to have a holiday completely dedicated to me. It was really sweet of them to do that in the first place. Okay, let's Lightning Bolt, Wildarin, Bloodcaster. Oh, wow, and it even tapped for blue? It's really smart. Nifty. I could play Lier here, but that's probably worse than holding up Divide by Zero. We don't have 8 lessons in the sideboard. We do eventually get to loot. That isn't nothing. It's not the best, but it's not nothing. Meanwhile, the opponent over here with a bunch of blood tokens. I'm not excited about all this burn. The cards you get access from Key Spellbook are random. So every card that has you draft something has a selection of 15 possible cards that can be presented in the pool. We'll take a Teachings of the Archaics here. So I could Teachings of the Archaics, or I can Lier. Blue, red. Blue, black, black, blue. Full control? I really want you to let me choose how I spend this mana deck. Please let me choose how I spend this mana. Thank you. Resolve Lier. Lightning Bolt the Blood Artist. And we still have up... I've already played a land drop this turn, right? Yes. So I don't need to play the Environmental Sciences here. No attacks. And I still have up Double Divide by 0. How do people get Time Warp every time, then? I would love to get Time Warp every time. That is definitely the life I want to live. I am willing to divide by 0 that so they don't get 2 blood tokens when attacking with a Shambling Ghast. If they had played a land first and were representing this Infernal Grasp, I couldn't do that because then the divide by 0 would be stuck in limbo, but thankfully that's not where we're at. So let's see. I think I start with Break Expectations in case they have a Sanguine Brushstroke that I need to get rid of. Well, I'm not really getting rid of the Infernal Grasps. It's going to make my Lier dead pretty soon. I think I get rid of the Bloodcaster. I also think they should have been attacking with the Shambling Ghasts to get more treasure tokens. What are we doing with the Seagate Restoration? Am I playing it as a land? I think I want the untapped ability to play 2 3-mana Divide by Zeros this turn. Oh, or maybe I want to play the Teachings of the Archaic, actually, and just have 1 Divide by 0, which makes my Lier dead to untapped land double Infernal Grasp. Am I okay with that? I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. So if they play untapped land and Infernal Grasp my Lier, then I divide by 0 my Lier in response, I think. So that they have to use both Infernal Grasps and don't get either one back. Then I figure we draw 5 cards, since that's probably good. Oh, Meathook Massacre killing Shambling Ghasts. You make so many treasure tokens that are kind of annoying is the problem. Don't really think I can do that. So I think I'm just playing Hall of the Storm Giants and holding up Jwari Disruption for the lulf, most likely. Alternatively, if I play Shipwreck Marsh, I'm holding up Fading Hope. Is that worth doing? I don't have to discard the hand size. I think I just play all the Storm Giants here. I don't know. Wait, if they fire up Hive of the High Tyrants, I don't... which is the scenario in which I would need Fading Hope, then I don't need Jwari Disruption, so it doesn't matter that I only have 2 mana up. Right. It is in fact your go, opponent. But I assume that those get queued up. Oh, that's a very good reason to use Jwari Disruption? No, because they still have a treasure they can pay. But it does tax the treasure here. Do I want to tax the treasure here? Probably. think using my mana efficiently to essentially strip mine them is probably correct. The opponent does want me to know that it's my go. I'm appreciative that they are so considerate. Want to make sure that I'm definitely aware of that. Okay, so I think we discover the formula here. And I think we probably swing with Geist Channeler here. And then I think we Meathook Massacre for 1. Then I think I probably make Seagate Restoration cheaper. I don't have a Sorin, right? No. I could also just Fading Hope Geist Channeler and get Mascot Exhibition down to 2 mana. Kind of like that plan. It's probably wrong. I gotta be very mindful of those brush strokes burning me out. It's the easiest way I can lose here. Get Bloodcaster. Counter the Fellstinger. Bounce the Bloodcaster. Scry. I actually kind of do want Jori Disruption right now with my opponent being so light on mana. Okay, let's draw with Seagate Restoration. Wow, that was not a lot of good cards, actually. That's kind of surprising. Okay, Blood on the Snow. I tapped Snowlands for that. Okay, well, I cannot cast Blood on the Snow to get back Lier, which means I guess we try to play enough stuff to kill the opponent here. I got a lot of board. Let's see, how much? 9, 10, 19? Oh, I'm 1 damage short? I would like to Jawari Disruption the wall, please. Okay, opponent miscounted and thought I had lethal. Oh wait, I super did have lethal, right? I can Meathook Massacre to kill some of my own creatures, because that actually does damage. Nice! Sweet! I've never actually had that mode on Meathook Massacre be relevant. Okay, so against Mono Black that's going to be boarding in Go Blanks, what's our game plan? Still fundamentally uncertain about how Sanguine Brushstroke lines up against Break Expectations. There's been times where bouncing it with Divide by Zero has been good, but really don't love giving blood token decks stuff to discard. But it's almost necessary. Go Blank, not terribly exciting. Homebreaker Horror, not terribly exciting. Disdainful Stroke. Nah, I think we just ship it back. What did we do last time? Oh, last time we were playing against a red-black aggro deck that actually had creatures, so we brought in Infernal Grasp. I don't know whether that'll actually be the correct move this time around. Considering we actually figured out what deck we're playing, I should probably change the stream title to include the fact that we're playing a blue-black deck. I'm kind of torn because I need to stop calling all of my decks Geist Channeler decks. At one point that was descriptive, but now it's kind of just... yeah, every deck has Geist Channeler. What else is the deck playing? Can you kiss my forehead? Huh, I suppose it is Christmas, so... I've got to assume that's a tradition somewhere. So when is Sultai Snow happening with Blizzard Brawl Geist Channeler Super Synergy? Ah. But think about it, right? Lier with Blizzard Brawl? You get your Lier to come down and you get to play a 1-mana removal spell? Juicy. It's too bad that Blizzard Brawl isn't instant, or it would be a very fun card to play with Lier. It's a very, very good thing Blizzard Brawl isn't an instant, because it would be the most overpowered card they may have ever printed. Inscription is. But Inscription is an instant speed fight spell. Oh wow, I can't talk tonight. Instant speed Blizzard Brawl would be an instant speed removal spell, pump spell, and Snakeskin Veil all at the same time. That also dodges board wipes. Ugh. Coming from a world where I am a person whose least favorite card of all time is... oh wow, maybe I'm actually healing. I can't remember the name of it. What's the old 1-mana +2/+2 hexproof spell? Nice, got there. Wow, Snow's busted. Alright. Pretty happy about a hand that has a card called Divide by Zero. There is the white Snow card that searches for any Snow or Legendary. I was kind of considering if we wanted to try to make some sort of Book of Exalted Deeds deck. Maybe. I have, like, no confidence in my ability to do that, but that does knock white out of the rotation. And there's literally, like, no red Snow card other than Frostbite. Is there? That's sort of it. Yeah, everything that includes the Snow symbol. Oh, there's also Tundra Fumarole. Oh, but no, this isn't everything, because Frostbite isn't even on here. Oh, because reminder text can include Snow, but not show up in a Oracle text search? Is that what happens? No, because that's not asking for Snow mana, that's caring about Snow permanents, which are two different things. Right. I'm kind of nervous about this Jwari Disruption. I guess I can choose whether to play it as a land next turn or not based on... Well, if I draw a Jwari Disruption number 2, I'm going to play a land. I really want to make sure that I'm making my 4th and 5th land drops when I've got Discover the Formula here. If I draw another Jwari Disruption, then having played this Jwari Disruption was correct. If I draw a different 2-drop, then playing that Jwari Disruption was correct. The scenarios in which I don't want to play that Jwari Disruption are scenarios in which my turn 2 draw are any land? No, any untapped land. Of which Jwari Disruptions are my only untapped lands. or my only tap lands. And if I draw a Dry Disruption, then I wanted to play the Dry Disruption. I think that means that I'm supposed to play the Dry Disruption there almost any time. No. That's not right. Any untapped land. Right. So any untapped land in my deck means that I wanted to hold on to that Dry Disruption. But... yeah. I don't know. Felt like it wasn't worth risking, and it turns out that it wasn't worth risking. Yeah, these fancy new lands are absolutely beautiful. That's why we're playing all these snow decks. Oh, this is the white-red equipment deck that we played against yesterday. Interesting. Alright, I want my opponent to spend the mana equipping Boots of Speed, so I'm going to let that resolve before I divide by 0 it. Then we divide by 0 it. And we get... so I'm going to get a 6th card, and then draw a 7th card, play a land down to 6, play Teachings down to 5. My opponent's on 4. None of that's actually good. So I guess I get Environmental Sciences to guarantee I hit my 6th land? How does Sorin change things? I think I can just play and downtick Sorin. I don't actually think this is good against the way this deck combos off, though. But at least it means if they play their 4-drop, I have a chump blocker here. Okay, they did not have a tap land. Okay, budget list then. Alpine Meadow in a deck that isn't snow. Reasonable. If they'd hit an untapped land, then the Kargan Intimidator could have turned the Vampire token into a Coward and killed the Sorin, which would have been annoying, but I think was still worth that sequencing either way. Do I just downtick Sorin to make another Vampire so that the Kargan Intimidator can't attack? Are we really living a life where Sorin is just a weird version of Lingering Souls? We might be living that life. Do I care about any of this? Yes, I really don't want my opponent having a Core Blade Master. We learned the other night that Core Blade Master can enable this deck to do like 18 damage in one turn with haste. So, not excited about playing against that. Oh, the weird part about this deck is, because it plays and cares and actually gets to use so many janky equipments, because it has creatures that make equipments free to equip, Break Expectations probably has a lot of bad cards that it totally does not mind using. Or it can just get Replicating Ring. That works too. Alright, I think we're not going to immediately downtick Sorin. I am happy to take the Dry Disruption for 2 life, and then play the Dry Disruption. That works for me. Okay, no attacking with the 2-3, because it forces them to spend 1 mana on the Kargan Intimidator if they want to attack the Sorin, which probably doesn't matter, but maybe matters? I don't think it actually ends up mattering. Is there any world in which it ended up mattering? I don't know enough about their list to know for sure whether them having access to only 4 mana makes this more awkward for them. I guess it means that they can't play Replicating Ring, activate Kargan Intimidator, replay Kargan Intimidator, and equip Boots of Speed all in the same turn? They can only play Ring, activate Intimidator to make my Vampire unable to block. Or if they go for that, I guess I'm super happy. Yep, Kargan Intimidator, very big. Where does it attack? Is the answer Sorin? Is the answer Face? The answer is Sorin. So I would like you to put the Kargan Intimidator back in your hand, please, opponent. And I guess I'll get Mascot Exhibition, because I don't think that I'm ever making Teachings of the Archaic work here. We'll make more blockers, as one does. Do I have a 1-drop in here? I have Break Expectations, actually. That's actually kind of perfect, isn't it? Let's get rid of their only creature. Because Break Expectations can never give them a creature. We have 2 blockers. Angel Fire costs 4 out of the graveyard, so I don't think my Sorin is very much in danger here. "50 feet of rope! Oh no!" Okay, well, they successfully found a 1-drop creature to attack with. I guess that means Angel Fire is a legal option now. But if they Angel Fire Ignition the Fireblade Charger, we learned this the other day, it gains Indestructible, which means I can block it with Lier, and it doesn't die, so they can't actually kill the Lier. See, I can learn. I can get better at Magic. I may not always believe it, but occasionally I have evidence to the contrary. That's a big Fireblade Charger. So if they swing it at Sorin, my Sorin's guaranteed to die. I could choose to block with the 2/3, and then they have to choose between killing Sorin or killing Lier. I think if they swing it at Sorin, I just let Sorin die because having 2 copies of Divide by Zero is so valuable to me. So yeah, Sorin, you can just not be alive anymore, and we're okay with that. We go to combat, and we swing with everybody, I think, because I've got 2 Divide by Zeros up. And then 6, 9. If I play Sorin, we don't have lethal. If I play Mascot Exhibition, I think we probably do have lethal next turn. I don't see any way in which they can kill me at 24 life with only 1 top deck on 5 mana with me having 4 blockers. I don't think that's doable. They can Angel Fire Ignition the Fireblade Charger and then just have the ability to swing for 6 lifelink, and then I probably can't kill them because they'll be at 17. If you... Yeah, so they should have done that, because now I just don't block and then I Divide by Zero the Fireblade Charger and they die. I think they needed to gain that 6 life to stay alive. And sure, I'll take Teachings of the Archaic, why not? Whee! Okay, against this deck, I want 3 copies of Infernal Grasp quite badly. Do I want Hullbreaker Horrors? I don't know. What are we cutting here? Are any of our cards bad? I don't know. I mean, Infernal Grasp is definitely good. They don't have a huge number of threats. I could, like, cut Key to the Archive, I guess? How many lands do we have? 22... 26. We got 28 lands, so my mana isn't hurt very much if I cut Key to the Archive. And considering this is in combo deck, I feel like tapping out for something on turn 4 that doesn't protect me is flawed. On that note, is Blood on the Snow too slow? Nah. I think the same logic as before kind of applies to Sorin, where I'm not sure I love it, but it is good when they're not successfully comboing off. I'm on the draw, though, which No, I think Blood on the Snow has to be worse than Sorin. Since at least Sorin we can play proactively before they have any creatures in play if we've removed all of their creatures, which is the hope. Okay, so... Sand's a tiny bit awkward, because I can't break expectations on one very easily without not having turn 2 plays. So I guess I'm probably playing Shipwreck Marsh on turn 1 and holding up Dry Disruption on turn 2. Or we could top deck a land that makes everything perfect. Thank you, deck. I love you. What are we getting rid of? We are getting rid of Bruenor, because I don't want my opponent having a threat. And so, for folks who weren't here yesterday, Bruenor is most of this deck's combo. The idea is you try to put as many things as possible into play that give Bruenor things like Double Strike and Trample, and then you find ways to, for 0 mana, give it haste. And it's surprisingly possible with like 5 mana to play Bruenor and have it be a 9-power Double Striker, provided that there are enough creatures in play that buff your equipped creatures and things. Remember to play the correct card. Okay, opponent missing lands. We're happy to see that. That makes our Dry Disruption look pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy to just make land drops and not use up my Divide by Zeros for as long as my opponent is missing land drops. Do I jam Lier here? Yes, I think so. I don't think my opponent can do anything particularly meaningful next turn, and even if they play a land and immediately kill the Lier, I'm not actually behind anything, really. But the upside of if I untap with Lier is so high that I think it's worth jamming Lier there. Forging the Tearite Sword. Ooh, that's spicy. Okay. I think we just hold up a double Divide by Zero here. Opponent's going to have a lot of mana, so we do actually have to interact now. Three lands missed for me, they got everything all the time. Well, sometimes I'm the person missing 3 lands. Not always, but occasionally. Figuring out how your deck plays around missing 3 lands is often some of the more entertaining games of Magic that you can get. I've had some really interesting games playing like Wilderness Reclamation decks, where you just never hit land 4, and have to figure out how to play Brazen Borrower beat down aggro. Like, 90% of the time you lose those games, but 10% of the times you get the most memorable games you've ever played. Do they just equip the boots with Rune of Sustenance? Okay. That actually is surprisingly heads up. I don't know if it was intentional, but if they had targeted the Blade Master, I would remove the Blade Master here, and they wouldn't get to draw the card. So, like... Oh, runes actually do work on weapons. Equipped creature has lifelink. Never mind. That actually just is how the card works, that is correct. Okay, don't mind me. I'm learning how limited mechanics work for the first time. Okay, give me Teachings of the Archaic, please. What's up with this highlight like I can cast it? Or is that just the flashback? Weird. Okay, so we hit a land drop, so we get to play our Sorin. Opponent used up all their treasures. Makes their life kind of awkward. My Dry Disruption doesn't do anything, but we're still holding up Divide by Zero. Opponent gets a Halvar, but they don't have a lot of mana. We got blockers and removal spells, and eventually we get to kill the opponent or something. Ironically, Ward 0 doesn't do anything with Lier in play. Or Ward 1, rather. So... I think I would rather Infernal Grasp this than Divide by 0. Maybe that's not true. I'd probably rather Divide by 0 it again. Be more mana efficient. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, we can probably get Mascot Exhibition. We're getting really close to having enough mana to hold up a removal spell and play it, which should get us pretty close to winning. I think at this point I just want Sorin to turn into damage faster. Actually, with all the Storm Giants in play, which I kind of missed, we just have lethal next turn, huh? And considering I've got 4 removal spells, that's probably doable. What you got, opponent? Cord Blade Master, sure. Ward, sure. Haste and Lifelink, sure. Swing. Nope. I want to have the blocker for all of the Storm Giants. That seems correct to me. But I'm just going to kill Core Blade Master then. Resolve the ward, decline. Go to my turn. Play land. Activate all the Storm Giants. Still have another Infernal Grasp up if we need to remove some kind of flash blocker. But mostly we just kill the opponent. This game is what bullying looks like. This deck is what bullying looks like, surely.